So that's a real joke. And this house here, I just use a picture of a haunted house supposedly to, do my little story here on this haunted house thing. I heard on television here, I think it was on the computer, on the internet, I think it was from CNN or LA Times. Some house was haunted and they brought in an exorcist and he did some stuff. And from the heavy presence of demons, it seemed to subside and everything is calm and good. But I've seen this before, I've heard this stuff before. He said there's a telltale sign of it, there's a foul smelling. I had a relative who was into heavy voodoo. When I gone up to this person, the house does smell funny. But what happens is that in her case, she might have been mixing them stuff that's used in Africa and India, various incense and different potions and different things and so on. I don't know if the demons of themselves just create a stink or whatever, because they're not stink. I mean, whatever. So they call in the Catholic Church and they're using Catholic stuff, and it's a problem. Now they put a crucifix and it's broken. They put a bead with this do the Hail Mary stuff, and let's call it again to do that bead thing in the Catholic Church, and they come and find it all kind of problems with it. So perhaps they're suggesting here that since the devil and these demons might be evil, and they're attacking these various items, perhaps these items are good and they're godly and so on. Whereas if that were the case, they can't mess with God's stuff, because I recall a set of people had beaten the Jews and took the ark into their country and put it in the house of their god. Now they were so smart to put it in the house of their god. And the Jews were playing careless with it. Oh, what I think happened, they took this ark out to battle, an unadvised battle. God hadn't told them to go in battle or wasn't in support of the battle, but they took the ark and went out there, and then the enemy took it. Now, I mean, God didn't strike them down because Uzzah, when they were taking the ark one place and they just shifted everything, touched it, he died because God said don't touch it. It was only the holy men, the high priest and his people were to deal with it. So maybe God's presence left so that they could have taken it, and maybe he wanted to show the Israelis a lesson or something. But many times when others had the ark, things would happen. They will be prospering, the crops doing well, the animal breeding good, and then Jews say, but look how we languish in here, and those people are prospering over there, we better go and get the ark. And they talk to God, and God said go ahead, and he allows them to get the ark back. So, but there was one instance where a certain people took this ark into their God's house, where they had the images and so on, and in the morning when they woke up, the images were down on the ground, smashed up, head fall off and all that kind of stuff. And he said, yes, that is what the true God will do. So now with this haunted house, when they're affecting the crucifix and they're affecting the rosary bead, okay, that you say, maybe this is God thing, that's why you're tackling it. But as I said, it were God's stuff, they couldn't do it. Now, so this exorcist came in and they're doing all kind of stuff, and then they because the people saying they were being bitten and they're feeling this thing and they're seeing cloudy that and all this kind of stuff, and then it started to decline and got less. And I say this whole story is hogwash, because what's happening, and I've seen similar things in the Caribbean and other parts of the world. This religious guy comes around and he wants to establish that he's a big heavy man of God and he's going to do some miracles and so forth, and he gets a guy from some other place that nobody knows, and comes this plane, he's dumb. Oh, he's dumb. He's a dumb spirit, and he started praying and carrying on. And let's do ventriloquism, because he's making it appear as if the devil is talking back to him. But, he's just doing this ventriloquial thing, and everybody's saying, and a thrill is passing through the crowd and so on. And then he's saying, get out to him, go. And then you make a scream, and everybody's saying, yes, the devil go. And then the fella starts to speak. Or you might be in a wheelchair. You roll up, walking with a stick and all that, and after they do the simmy-dimmy, everything is good as if he's normal, but he had never had a problem. Okay? Now, so because he's supposedly getting rid of the devil, people say, oh, this is a man of God. But the fraud that he's pulling on them show that straight up he's not a man of God. On the other hand, there are people who are evil that will get supposed responses from the devil, desired responses. So, if this person is possessed, and this person is taking a gun and threatening to shoot up a lot of people, and this person come in and carry on and on and on and on and on, and he stopped that, and people say, yes, he's a man of God. But what the devil can do is, the fellow is shooting up people with a gun. So you do this exorcism exercise, and the fellow will stop shooting the gun up. Boy, he start pushing drugs. In other words, he's changing from one evil to the next evil, a lesser evil. But as far as God is concerned, all evil is equal, right? And then this drug thing might become a problem. You're gonna pray for him again, and you can start pimping girls, or you might rob in the bank. So you're just changing from one to the next, from bad to worse, or from worse to good. Still evil, you know what I mean? Because people might think, oh, he's not doing that again. This is good, but there's another level of evil. Finally, demons were angels, and man was created a little lower than them, so that they were even superior to Adam in stature, in power, and all that, because they could have gone through space and gone to heaven and back and forth. Adam could do that, except God does something to usher him out there, and so on. So I'm not sure how this big giant could get into a house. Now, of course, they're spiritual also, and I don't understand that thing. So they say that, for example, the devil possessed the guy. And I think even in the scripture they use the word possession. And it seems as if they're saying that he's in man. And you ask, where in man a devil can find abode? This big devil that is bigger than Adam and Eve, who was for a lot of times bigger than us. You could fit into a small person. Again, spirits could do a lot of things perhaps, and I'm not sure which part of the body he fits in. Some people say he's in the heart, maybe the pumping heart. No, maybe in the head. I mean, how is this possible? Okay, I don't understand how it works, but I speculate to say that maybe somehow they have the power to control from without, and the people speak, and it sounds as if it's the devil, or we know it's the devil speaking through them. So it's either ventriloquism they're doing, or whatever. The guy who was in the cemetery cutting himself up, it was known he was possessed by demons, and perhaps some medication, psychiatrists getting some medication might have helped a little bit, but he definitely had a demonic problem. And while he was behaving obnoxious, people were running from him. Even the disciples of God couldn't get to him and help him at all, but he was seeking help. And Christ read his mind, realizing that he was reaching out for help, and reached in and helped him. But if it wasn't for Christ, he would have died like that, because on the other hand, that was his problem, because for him to become so deeply possessed, he had to respond to the wooing of the devil and go to the place where it becomes so profound and so dense that he could even speak his mind, because they're subjugating him and making him say what they want, or ventriloquism, whatever they do, you see what I'm saying? But in this haunted house situation here, I don't like talking with Catholics no more, because, you know, I mean, it don't make no difference. People can do what they fail do, and people up. Some journalists think that, oh, they know everything. They haven't studied the history or studied the social science. I mean, the social, what's it called again? Social studies, and understand the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages and medieval and this and that and whatever. And they're caught up with how things look today. Nice Pope Francis and good man. They're saying all these good things he's doing, and they don't understand the nature of the Jesuits and the whole papacy, and they haven't studied nothing. And they belong to some secret society who the boss tell them that, man, go and defend the Pope. The Pope is a good man. Or Satan himself tell them to defend. You know what I mean? But I don't see Catholics got any control of the devil to, except he's trying to give an organization or a person some prestige. Because if a person is possessed directly or definitely by the devil, and this guy comes on and he has a pact with the devil, he's going to tell the devil. But then, I mean, with having a pact with the devil, he's not of God. He can't tell the devil to go anywhere. The devil is more like trying to help him and going to do some stuff and saying, oh, please don't run me out of here. Oh, don't run me out of here. Please, please, please. I say, get out. And then they're going to do the screaming thing and all that. But he's saying, this is a man of God. This time is Satan boy. All right? You're going to listen to him, his teachings or whatever. You surely wouldn't be put in the ark. They're going to take it to heaven. You're going straight to hell, because this guy is working with the devil. Okay, there was one preacher who was a big exorcist, and now he become a minister of Satan. You know what I mean? He was never a man of God, because one other thing too, you don't mess with the devils. You don't go there playing you casting out demons and you interacting with demons, because you can't do it on your own, except God is there to run them because the good angels are stronger than the evil angels, because the strength that comes to keep them going comes from God, and this one has rebelled, and so they're not having that connection with God. But nevertheless, they had such a great potential that after these 6,000 years, they still have strength and power. And God said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and so on. So they're still strong, but the good angels are stronger because they continue maintaining the strength, or have gotten stronger. And so they're the ones that will get rid of these demons out here, or Jesus himself. So unless God runs them, they haven't gone anywhere. They're just deceiving you to feel that they've gone. While I was in Canada, I met this woman. She's saying, whenever you come to my place, she's having a whole bunch of problems when I leave, because apparently devils have to go outside, and when I'm gone, they come back in and beat her up. But she wants me now to get some people to come in and exorcise whatever, but she's not willing to do what might be necessary. She had an alliance with the devil to get rich and to get fame and power, but now she has gotten it and she wants them to go. They ain't going nowhere, and God himself might not even intervene there, because she has to turn her back on them. She has to get rid of those possessions, those things that he gave her. She needs to get rid of them if she's serious about getting rid of the devil. And while she's holding on to it, forget it. They ain't going nowhere, because that's the way I see it. So this exorcism stuff, I understand there was some exorcist movie, and some green thing came out of the guy and they said that is the devil or whatever, you know what I mean? But with the rosary and the crucifix, those aren't items that could be considered godly, because the cross, even though they have a figure like Jesus on it and so on, it's not important, because the cross wasn't necessarily a thing from God. Yes, he says that his son is going to be killed on the cross, but it doesn't mean that he's saying that. And when Paul says, I glory in the cross of Christ, he wasn't speaking about that wooden instrument. He was speaking about the experience, what Christ accomplished on the cross. His death for sins, justification and sanctification are guaranteed, and glorification is guaranteed. He has conquered the devil and death and so forth by going through and dying, so that everything is on track. That's it he's talking about, but not get your wooden instrument and wear it on your neck. I was passing through a room and there was some evil movie on, or some haunted movie, and this guy was purportedly attacking a demon, dressed up in whatever to try to depict a demon, and he's putting the cross in front of the devil, knocking it away. That cross is the devil's sign, man. So he broke it, make you feel that, oh, this was so holy and this is so good, and other things that people throw at him. That's his thing. So be careful. Don't get involved with the devil. Don't try to get rich by doing these simi-dimi, and then when it's not working for you. People in the East, India and other places over there, they're into this kind of multi-god stuff, and they seem to be doing okay. But we in the West here, we have a tradition of Christianity. They have always been in that stuff they're into. So that they might be smiling and happy, but when, of course, death comes, death is death. And a lot of times they're tormented. But they may not want to cry out and say, oh, hey, this torment is too much. I should have never gone into this voodoo. They might even be able to say that. Okay? But if you could read the mind, the suffering they're going through, death is death. But when they don't have the hope that will come from God and whatever, it's going to be brutal. But in the West here, where we have the Christian tradition, when you move off and go with the devil and the stuff, he moves very fast and very quickly. Wrap you up and kill you, or put you in a position where you can't even reverse again. Damage your mind to the extent where you can't even recognize God, or be willing to seek his help, as in the demonic in the cemetery where you got God's help. And so, as I said, the folks in the East, Africa and India, wherever, they seem to be happy in the stuff they're doing. Don't think that happiness is going to be yours. And as I said, they're just ministers. Oh, look how he's so bright and so happy, and he's into this voodoo over there. Oh, I'm going to try that. No, it's going to get you. Because when you get where you're going to, or you don't get there, you're going to want to revert back to what you had known. And therefore, he's going to try to kill you. Put you in a position where you can't return, or kill you.